Hi everyone. Okay, so some of my thoughts on chapters 1 and 15 was just kind of like an introduction. I really didn't know what family life education was. It was interesting to kind of get the history of it and then kind of come up with some ideas of my own while I was reading it of what to do. One thing that I noticed when I was first thinking about what a family life education program was, I was kind of leaning towards like more things that would fall under um, therapy. And even after I read this chapter, I was still kind of stuck in that mode. So um, I just I'm glad I came out of that by the time I read chapter 2. But I think one of the most interesting things out of chapters 1 and 15 were because I decided to do a web-based family life education program. And one thing that I found interesting was that a lot more people are turning to the internet for information, and so the programs that are online can be as effective as a face-to-face. It'll be interesting as the internet becomes more prominent among family life education. I'm sure studies will be done to see if family life education over the internet is more effective or equally effective as a face-to-face program. But since it's relatively new, then we don't quite know yet. But I think that one of the benefits of having a web-based family life education program is your ability to reach more people. Because I can't remember if it was this chapter, this most recent chapter probably was, but it said like a lot of people who need family life education aren't getting it. Especially those who need it aren't getting it. They don't have access to it. And maybe having a web-based family life education program will meet those needs of people who otherwise wouldn't get it, because they can view it at their own time, and they can kind of set the boundaries of what they will do and what they won't do. And so anyway, so I was excited about doing my web-based family life program. For chapter 2, I was kind of thinking that I hope that most of my participants will be in the primary prevention, so that because I don't know if I can reach people on a deeper level. I don't think if they have some signs of a risk, I don't know if I'd be able to adequately help them out. If they do have some risk, then hopefully the program that Ziggy and I are putting together will help them in that risk, but we'll kind of try and stay in that primary prevention area, where we're just trying to prevent. We're not assessing risk, and we're definitely not giving any therapy. As for just go through my outline. So we're kind of going through these stages of Ziggy and I are going through these stages of making a model of what we're doing. We've kind of gotten through stage 1, where we've kind of assessed the problem, and we're trying to see who our target audience is. And so we've put together a target audience, but it's hard to like put everything we need right now. I feel like there's so much more information that is going to be available as we go along, and just doing the best we can with the knowledge that we have. So so we're working on that. We're designing our program, obviously web-based. We've set some parameters of what we're going to do, and then we're skipping the pilot testing as per directions, and definitely not in stage 4 or stage 5 yet. So Okay, so for this chapter, for chapter 16, for this week, um, let's see, what can I say? Um, so yeah, again, we've assessed our target audience. We're getting ready to put this program together. So, what were some of the questions that were asked this week? Let's see. So it says, the text states that traditional family life education suffers from underwhelming participation. Oh yeah, that was this week. I talked about that a little bit already. Um, um, Potential participants often do not see the value of family life programs, family life education programs. What can we do to market in a way that will help you meet this challenge? So I think it's important to so the in my experience, a lot of people don't know they need family life education because they have a big roadblock for therapy in general. But I really do think that those barriers that some people have put up about therapy are really going away culturally, at least in my area. And so, yeah, I think there's some good stuff out there. People are more receptive now. And then, so as far as what I can do to market it is make it less, um, less about like therapy and kind of emphasize the point that this is about prevention and that it should be fun. I think that's kind of one of the things that I've been thinking about is having the program be uh, kind of like a family home evening type of activity where like, hey, get together with your family and play this game, or talk about, a little thing that could be fun to talk about. So it won't be so much about like, tell me your deep dark secrets, but more about like, hey, this is a good way to build your family and have a good time. So anyway, the next question is, the chapter discusses social media in marketing. How can you use social media to reach a wider audience? So definitely this is super important to me because we are doing web-based program. I think most of our people are going to be through social media in the first place. So with Ziggy, we can put together something that looks really good as far as social media goes. Put together something that is appealing through social media. So it's got to be digital, our marketing tools, and then we can also market to our friends and family who are on social media. And so hopefully those are some really good, I hope those are good ideas. And that's my video for the week.